This is the Real Talk with Rubio. Today we're featuring legendary long snapper Reid Ferguson of the
That's a bold
Buffalo
word.
Bills, LSU, Buford High School legends of long snappers. Reid Ferguson, what's going on, my man?
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
I was just talking to you. You're a real adult. You're almost 31. Birthday's coming up in a couple days. Do you feel like an adult now?
I do probably just for the fact that I'm married with two kids, but I still I still am blessed enough to play a game for a living, which keeps me young, I believe.
Yeah, and what's very odd to me is that okay, you're 31, you're married with two kids, you've got this real job, you're a real human being, you've got a little gray hair going on like that. Every long stepper that I work with, I always go back to when I started with them. So, okay, I started with you when say you were 14, 15, 16 years old. So in my mind, I think Reid Ferguson is a 14-year-old. And then I see, okay, you're on vacation with two kids, all this. I'm like, this doesn't work out. It hurts my head a little bit.
Time flies. And I say I tell it to my wife every year, like every off season, we're finding more things to do. The kids are a year older. We're we traveling back and forth and just seeing friends in different places, and it's just like you kind of go through the season, and the season is the season. It's a blur. Like we don't live in Buffalo full time, so like when
Mhm.
we're in Buffalo, it's like you spend the time there and you see your friends and you see all the people you know in Buffalo, and then we come home and it's like you're just living two different
Yeah,
lives.
I get it.
And it's just like you spend half the year up here in Buffalo, you do the season, and then it's like, all right, now we're gonna come back and we're gonna see friends and family down here. It's just I feel like it makes the years go by quicker.
Oh, 100%.
Um when you're kind of half here, half there. But
Oh, I get it.
it's a blessing for sure.
I get it 100%. Okay, Reed, first question. You got a week off for Buffalo. For some reason, you and I are taking a road trip. We're going from Buffalo to the Big Apple. We're going to New York City. Just you and
Okay.
I in a car, road trip. Give me your top 5 road trip snacks and one drink. Go.
Okay, we're gonna drink white Monster Energy.
Oh, okay. Sugar
Okay, I
free.
think it's like maybe cherry. It doesn't have to
Oh,
be sugar free.
okay.
Just the white can.
Okay.
And we're gonna have honey roasted peanuts,
Oh, good. Okay.
white cheddar Cheez-Its,
Okay.
and some your favorite gum.
Oh, okay. Well,
Spearmint,
are
peppermint.
you a gum popper?
I need you to explain what that is.
Like when are you the guy that
Like
chews gum? Number one, can I hear you chewing it? Because we're gonna have an issue there.
definitely not.
Okay. And number two, are you the guy that pops gums like constantly?
Oh,
You've
no, no,
seen these
no.
people. Okay. So
I know who you're talking.
you
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're
yeah.
saying. No, no, no. I'm a silent chewer.
Okay, so that's good. So that's three.
Yep.
That's well, I don't even know if gum would be a
Is
snack,
gum
but
not
go
a
ahead. That's
snack?
three.
Okay. Gummy. You throw maybe like some gummy worms in there.
That's four. You got one more. You've got no real
So five
sustenance here.
snacks. You said five snacks. You said
Yeah.
three snacks. Okay. So and then we'll add. Um. Oh man, that's kind of like all I normally eat. Okay. So Target sells this trail mix called Monster Mix. It's
Okay.
the best trail mix you'll ever eat in your life. So
Talk to me.
Target Monster Mix. It's
Wh-
it's got the normal. It's got peanuts. It's got M&Ms. It's got these little baby chocolate chips and these little baby peanut butter chips.
Oh,
Fantastic,
okay.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Best trail mix you'll ever eat in your life. Monster
I can
Mix.
I
No
I can
free
tell
ads.
I can
Monster
tell you're
Mix
a
from
parent.
Target.
I can tell you're a parent because your snacks were very kid related. Like, okay, we want the cheese hits, we want some gummy worms
Definitely,
because you didn't even
definitely.
have any like protein in there. Besides, well, I guess the trail mix might have a little protein.
You could do some beef jerky, but get the protein when you eat your meals.
Okay, I got that. I got that. I'm in for that. Reed, tell me about your long snapping journey. Tell everyone about your long snapping journey. How did you go from Buford High School, legendary long snapping school, to the Buffalo Bills?
Yep. So oh, Blakely's joining
Whoa.
me. So you
Hey.
say hi. So started out at Buford, and feel free to put the picture. of my first Vegas. If you want to pop that up there. Started when I was in 8th grade. Hey, I'm sorry.
No, you're
One
fine,
second.
man. You're fine.
I
This is
am
life.
busy. Can you give me 5 minutes? Can you give me 5 minutes? I see. I see. Can you give me 5 minutes? I'll be right. I'll be done in 5 minutes. Close the door. Close the door. Sorry. Close the door.
Oh, man, you're good.
Thank you. Thank you. Just pull it. Thank
This is
you.
very, this
Okay.
is very funny to me.
I am so sorry.
No, man, don't
Do you
worry
want to
about it.
re-ask your question?
No, just tell me about your long snapping journey from Buford to LSU. How was it? How did it happen?
Yeah, so I always tell people I would do it all over again if I could.
Okay.
Like, I have 2 girls. I think every dad wants a boy, because I want to like be able to experience those things with my son,
Mhm.
uh, like that my dad did with me and Blake. So like, doing all the recruiting stuff and the camps and traveling around and just well that one-on-one time. Like, I feel like that's something that definitely I cherished as I was kind of going through those years. But so started when I was in 8th grade, started snapping. Went to my first camp at Milton High School,
Mhm.
and so won the job at Buford. Snapped for a couple years for the varsity team. Got a scholarship to LSU. Uh, Went to a lot of the summer camps, I guess. A lot of the ones that you ran around the
Mhm.
southeast, and then spent 4 years at LSU. 4 great years. Like, had a blast. Like I said, would do it all over again. The friendships, the people I met, the connections that I made was just amazing. The games playing in Tiger Stadium, like just an incredible experience. And as I was kind of progressing through my college career, I would say maybe junior season. Throughout the fall and every week, you'd have a lot of scouts come to practice, mostly to watch, Odell and Leonard Fournette and like all the superstar guys that are practicing. But um, slowly but surely they started asking me questions, and I was like, okay, it's like this is interesting. Maybe I have like a legit shot to play at the next level, and that was always the goal. But it's kind of hard to like envision yourself kind of taking that next step until it kind of becomes a reality. I guess maybe that's just
Mhm.
my experience, but um, started kind of developing some of those relationships with some of the scouts that were coming to practice and the teams, and kind of noticing that there was some interest in my abilities as a snapper. So, ended up in 2016 going to camp with the Bills, and did not make it out of my first camp, but I was signed back to the practice squad about halfway through the season, and they kept me on in 17. I became the starter, and haven't looked back since. So
The rest
it's
is
been a
history.
great, 9 years now. Like we were just talking about earlier, time flies, especially when you're having fun. And I always tell people, where I'm in a unique position, but um, a job is not work if you love what you're doing. So
Ooh,
uh, that's kind of how I look at it, and like I also mentioned before, we get to play a kids game for a living, so I think it keeps me humble and keeps me young up here.
I love that. Reed, tell me about a hard time in your life and how you overcame it. Just it doesn't have to be
Uh,
football related. It could be anything. It doesn't
sure.
matter.
So, I think the most difficult time for me was probably that time when I got cut after camp in 2016, and I was basically at home for a couple months before I got called back to Buffalo. And it was tough because I knew that I had snapped really well. I felt like I performed well in camp, in the off-season program, in training camp, in the preseason games, the 3 preseason games that I got to play in that fall. And I knew that I was good enough to play somewhere in this league,
Mhm.
whether it was with Buffalo or with another team. So it was just a tough, because I had for really from since I started playing football in 5th grade. I had always been attached to a team,
Yeah.
right? The rec league team, the middle school team, the high school team, college team, never been cut, never been, always had my name attached to a team. And to be, for lack of a better term, a free agent
Mhm.
for those couple months at the first part of that 2016 season, that was a challenging period for me. I relied a lot on my faith. Um, Prayed a lot, spent a lot of time just working odd jobs. I was walking dogs in the neighborhood, just really kind of like trying to find whatever I could do to stay busy while I was training and snapping to dad in the backyard. But it was, I would definitely say that was probably the most challenging part of my life, was just working through myself as a person, and like what I'm really about, and kind of setting a foundation going forward.
What was the worst dog you walked? What was the best dog?
The worst ones were always the small ones,
They're the worst.
the
Any
worst.
little, I call them like yapper
Yeah,
dogs, or
yeah,
those are the worst.
yeah, because they yeah, they don't know how to walk straight. The big ones are easy because they get worn out just putting their collar on. But the little ones were the worst ones.
I have you have what kind of dog do you have? You have a
We have a
dog,
couple doodles.
golden doodles.
They're like, yeah, 60 pounds, so they're good size.
Are they dumb?
One of them is. One of
Yeah.
them's very smart. Labradoodle. She's great. Walks off leash. Didn't even have to teach her how. She's extremely obedient. The golden doodle, he is dumb as a
Special.
rock.
That's
Special.
I have a golden retriever. It's my third one in a row. Nicest dog on the planet. I'd put him with your daughter right now. You can babysit. But he is dumb. I would not waste a lifeline on him. He is
Yep.
literally the dumbest dog I've ever seen, and it's almost shocking. Reed, when people watch you, if they've watched you from age, like eighth grade on, you would get probably 90% of the people watching you long step would go, I don't like that guy. And then 10% went, I really like that guy. And you are the perfect example of someone where I always say, I do it all the time in hashtags, like you toe the line, where you're so confident it almost comes off as cocky. And with you, it's even better because you're quiet. You were more quiet at camps. You weren't like a Monahan where you just, good Lord, you wouldn't stop talking, have diarrhea of the mouth. You did your job. It was almost like you clocked in, you clocked out. You were like the union member. Boom, boom, boom. How did you learn to play with so much confidence? How can long snappers do that? What advice can you give to parents or something? How do you handle stressful situations? How do you play with confidence? Like it's snowing, you're at the Bills Stadium, all hell's breaking loose, and you just walk out there. And I've sent you text before, like, dude, it's gonna be cold this weekend. What are you doing? Oh my God, build a dome. And you're like, it happens. How do you do that? How do you play with so much confidence?
I think a lot of it comes from, and I could say this easier now than 9 years ago, but a lot of it comes from past experiences. I really try to lean on my past experiences. So going to LSU, I'll kind of rewind a little bit. Going to LSU, I had never, playing high school football in Georgia, you kind of you play, it's hot in August, it's hot in September, but like October, November, towards the end of your season, it gets chilly, like it's nice football weather. Um, so going to LSU was challenging because it's way hotter down there, as you know, for more of your season. So learning how to adjust to that snap with like sweaty hands, sweat dripping, when you're down in your stance, like sweat dripping down, like that was an adjustment that had to be made. Fast forward a couple years in Buffalo, my first season in 17, starting for the team, we had a game first week of December. We played the Colts at home. There was a foot of snow on the ground. I had never snapped in snow before. There was snow in the laces, the like frozen in the laces, so you couldn't even really grip the laces. It was really like I was gripping the opposite side of the ball, just kind of like throwing it back there. And it's so I really I really try to lean on my past experiences, and I know that's easier, way easier said than done. But I think if I try to look back at where I started go through all the camps. What have I learned? What does my technique look like? Lean on that technique and be confident in your technique. And I mean, it's like it's like I said, it's easier said than done.
No, I
But
get it.
but I really try. Like my technique and my what I know I have done gives me confidence going forward. I know that I've snapped in the snow. I know that I've snapped in minus 25 degrees in Chicago on Christmas Eve 3 years ago.
I'm out.
Uh, I know that I've snapped in 100 plus degrees heat. So I know playing in Buffalo um, for the Bills is the hardest place to play in the NFL for a specialist, period. If you can play in Buffalo, and and have this conversation with every specialist that comes to play us throughout the season every year, because we always bring it up. If you can play in Buffalo, you can play anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can play in a dome, you can play in Miami, you can play in California, you could play in Seattle, anywhere, because all of the other elements that everywhere else gets as their kind of like one-off element, it all happens in Buffalo, with the exception of the the Florida Heat, I think.
Yeah.
But like I'm used to that because I snapped at LSU. Like
Yeah.
I know how to navigate that weather.
Yeah.
So go back to your question, like what gives me confidence? How, like the quiet confidence to go out there and know that I can get the job done. I think it's really leaning on those past experiences, knowing my technique, and knowing that it's worked and gotten me this far. Kind of gives me the day to day, the week to week ability to go out there and perform at a high level, because I know that I can. I know that I've done it before.
Yeah, I love that. It's what I always tell the long snappers too. Is
I hope that answered your
no, it's
question.
that was perfect. It's one of those where it's not your first time doing it. You're not the first person on Mars. Okay, if you were the first person on Mars, I get it. You're a little nervous. Is the land lava? What am I doing here? But this is something you've done in heat, in humidity, in the snow. And I mean, you in Buffalo, good Lord, you play it. I mean, you've literally gone from the extreme conditions of hell in Baton Rouge, where it's 119 degrees and 180% humidity, to, oh my God, Buffalo, where it's negative 7,000 and buffaloes are literally dying on the side of the road. So you've
Yep.
had it all. Okay, final question, Reid. Final question for you. You are I'm very excited for this question with you. You are a connoisseur of beef. So you can take this two different ways. You
Okay.
and I, no wives, no kids, just you and I. We're going to eat. Now, you can take me, you're taking me, I'll pay. Money's no object. You can take me to any restaurant you've ever been to that is like, oh my God, hold on, don't answer yet.
Okay.
Rubio has to have this. Or we're in the backyard. No kids, no wives. They're out doing something. So you're there's nothing bothering you. Not saying the kids are bothered, but you know what I'm saying. You're focused. Or you're barbecuing for me. What are we doing, Daddy? Talk to me.
It's got to be one or the other.
It's yeah. This is why I was so excited to have this
Oh my
conversation because
goodness.
I knew this would be a quandary for you. I knew you'd be like nervous.
Okay.
Okay,
So
no. Just for you, Reid, we're gonna go both because I know
okay.
how good you are on this. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go restaurant first, then we'll come back to Reid
Okay.
Ferguson's house.
Okay. Restaurant. Unfortunately, it recently closed, not for financial reasons. The owner decided to move on. He was
Okay,
happy with what he accomplished. His name's James Roberts. He's from New Orleans. One of my good friends. He owned a restaurant called Toutant in Buffalo. Soul food, Cajun style restaurant in Buffalo. It was one of the best restaurants in Buffalo, voted one of the best restaurants year after year. People loved it.
okay.
He was booked up. I think and this is, I'm getting on a little bit of an anecdote. He announced, I want to say maybe sometime in December or early January, that he was closing on February 15th of this year, a little over a month ago. Right when he announced he was closing, they booked up every reservation, booked up for like the next 7 or 8 weeks until they closed. You couldn't get in the door. You had to wait in line to sit at the bar. You had to wait a line out the door to sit in the bar. People were lining out the door at 4:30. They opened at 5, just for a seat at the bar when it's 10 degrees outside.
Good
Like, this
Lord.
place is incredible. So if we go to Toutant, we're getting
Yes.
We're getting two things: the appetizer, biscuits, homemade biscuits. He makes the best biscuits and homemade jelly you'll ever eat in your
Okay, I
life.
was gonna say butter,
Okay,
jelly. What kind of
the
jelly?
jelly, it's like a homemade jelly. The best biscuits you'll ever eat in your life. Okay, we're gonna go home. I'm gonna cook you a steak.
Or we're combining.
I'm saying for the dinner, I'm cooking the meal. Okay, but for the appetizer is the
Oh,
biscuits. Dessert, he makes a homemade brown butter ice cream.
what is brown butter ice cream?
It's like some kind of, I don't know, best ice cream you'll ever eat in your life. Okay? Two things: appetizer, dessert at the restaurant. Okay?
Okay, well, hold on. Let's go back to the brown butter ice cream. Is it like a
Okay.
chocolatey or is it a
No,
vanilla?
it's not chocolate. It's like caramel style.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like brown. I don't really know. It's
Is it
not
like
like
peanut butter?
coffee.
Are you trying to say peanut
No, it's
butter?
not peanut butter. It's like brown butter ice
Brown
cream.
butter.
I don't really know what the. It's
Okay,
like a
well,
caramel
and
flavoring a little bit to it.
well, now I'm depressed because I'm never gonna be able to have brown butter ice cream.
I know.
Okay, so we've got appetizers, dessert.
Okay,
Go back.
so I believe that I make the best steak I can eat.
I
I have
love that.
not had a steak elsewhere in a restaurant that tops what I think I can make at home.
You're
What I
literally
have
going
made
back
at
to
home,
you're
leaning
going
on
back
my
to
past
you're,
experiences.
yeah, you're going back to question 4 of the
That's
confidence
right.
thing. And I love this.
Confidence.
Keep going.
I can make at home, I can make the best steak I believe I can eat. So we're gonna get about an inch and a half thick ribeyes, nice
Okay.
fat content, and I'm gonna reverse sear them and grill them up. And
Do you have
that's.
please tell me you have a guy like your own butcher that you just go to your guy.
I don't have a butcher. I have farmers.
Oh, so you don't just go to your
Straight from the
local
source.
Albertsons.
No, straight from the source.
Do you buy
Best
like a
way to
half
do
of
it.
beef? Do you have a
Quarter
freezer in your?
beef. Buy quarter beef.
I love this.
Split
This
it.
is
Split it with a couple other people.
this warms my heart.
Yep. Ground beef, steaks, short ribs,
And you're
uh,
cooking it for me medium rare.
medium rare plus.
What does that mean?
It's between rare and medium rare.
That's a real thing, medium rare plus?
Next time you go to a restaurant, ask for medium rare plus.
I've never heard that.
Yep.
Okay. Reid Ferguson, this was absolutely fantastic. Now I'm starving, and now I'm a little pissed because I'll never have brown butter ice cream, whatever the hell that is.
I'll try and get a recipe for you.
Yeah, please do. Reid,
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Give your hugs to your whole family for me, and thanks for carving out some time for me. Everyone, this is Reid
Absolutely.
Ferguson. Thank you very much, my man.